Hello, my name is Stephen and I'm on the Great North Walk at the moment in an area that's between a place called the Basin campsite in Onley and walking on the track that takes you to Wollombi Brook. Wollombi Brook is just down there and ahead is the track. It's good in some spots, it can be difficult to follow in others. The Great North Walk goes from Queen's Wharf in Newcastle all the way to Sydney Cove. It's around about 260 kilometres one way, and I've walked the entire distance. The Great North Walk once again, and I've got to this point and I thought, well, maybe I could put up a YouTube video for those interested, those who may want to do this walk, maybe to inspire others to get some good exercise. Marker, it's not in very good condition. Some parts are in good condition and some parts aren't. Further along there'll be some caves. You can see some of the original timbers. I believe logging has occurred in this area, and most of this appears to be second growth. A bit slippery there. Some very large rocks kind of lying around in different places. I don't have an editing machine, but maybe if some people are interested in a video series, I'll get serious and try and figure out how to do that, and I could do a YouTube video series on the Great North Walk. There's a little creek that's not flowing at the moment. It goes down into the main creek down the bottom there, and lots of ferns and moss. This area is a rainforest area, and it's quite isolated and quite rugged. There's some nice ferns up in the tree there, and I'm soon gonna go to an area that has large caves. It's very challenging, this walk, especially when you're not as fit as one should be. Goes right down the bottom there, as you can see. I'm on a narrow little path that you've got to be careful not to fall down. Some maintenance has been done on the past, but it needs a little bit more, because there's lots of sections like this where I've got to climb over trees and things. Up there you see some interesting caves, and there's caves along the entire Great North Walk. Some of them quite spectacular, some of them just ordinary, but you can do this walk in different sections. I've had to stop a couple of times to check for leeches. They go in some areas like this, have leeches, so you've got to be careful of them. Sometimes you don't know that they're helping themselves to your blood until you stop and take your socks off. because you don't really feel anything when they're biting you. This bit here goes down a bit of a steep slope, and as you can see, the creek is still down there, almost impenetrable jungle, and there's a few little creeks to the side that join the main creek. As you can see, some of these trees are very, very tall, and it's quite spectacular. Just still going along this track here. You hear some birds and things. There's not a lot of company here. It's very isolated. I've got a backpack. You gotta make sure you're prepared for every situation. The main creek is just down the bottom there. You can get close to it at some points along this track. Lots of fallen logs and things, and not sure what the history of this track was made in 1988, but actually I'm on an extension of the Great North Walk here. The main track was back that way. Some parts of the Great North Walk follow old road trails, old logging trails that are no longer in use. Here we have a large tree. You can see that it had been logged. You compare that to the surrounding trees. There's another one up here actually. You can see that the forest used to be a lot thicker, a lot taller, trees a lot larger, probably even larger than this one here. Still going down here. There's the brook down there, you can see the water. On a really hot day, one would be tempted to jump in, but you've got to watch for those leeches. It's another old marking post. Soon you got to watch that you don't lose the track here, especially in the evening. It's certainly a lot darker in this forest than the surrounding area. Lots of large rocks like this. I'm going past. Soon I'm going to hit an area that has even larger rocks. Better get going here, not too fast. Don't want to fall over. I might end up putting this on YouTube, I don't know yet. If you're hearing this on YouTube, it's because I've decided to do that. Here we go. Have a look at this up here. Some decent sized rocks along this creek bed. I wonder if people used to shelter in them in the past. Forgive me for the quality of this video, I haven't tried this before. I've got to be a little bit careful here because it's a bit steep and you can trip over. I can use these jungle vines to help stabilise myself. Look at that. There's the creek bed there. It's quite beautiful. creek is flowing, believe it or not. It's just hidden behind all the rocks. There's an interesting cave here. It's quite large. You could use that for shelter, I suppose, if you're in trouble. Look at the size of those rocks at the creek bed there. That's the one where the cave is. Well, I better concentrate on walking. If I get some interest in this video, I might start posting other videos. I've actually done the whole walk from start to finish, and I loved it a lot, and doing it again. A lot of the journey I actually did return walk, because it's hard to get to some spots on the Great North Walk. Down there is quite steep, believe it or not. The camera's not doing it justice. Some of these vines are incredibly thick. I'll look inside that cave. It's just going down this steep part of the track here, and there's the water, and that water goes all the way to the Basin campsite, which is a beautiful campsite not far from here. There's no mobile phone reception in this particular spot, but a lot of this Great North Walk does have mobile phone reception, but just not this bit. This camera around, you can see me coming down right to the creek bed. Oh. Oh. And I've just come down from there. All right, well, thank you for your attention. Bye for now. If if there's some interest shown in this, I'll put up another video. Bye bye.